CGCP 3006 by Chesthetica. The pieces seem to be clustered in the upper right corner of the board. It's kind of weird. White has a rook, a pair of knights and a pawn. Black has a rook and a pair of knights. So black is down by just about one pawn. But that one pawn is forking both knight and rook. So it seems like the thing to do here is for white to capture this rook and promote to queen simultaneously. Let's see what happens. Okay, so what has happened is that white has captured a rook in exchange for a pawn. So that is 4 Shannon points. And then he has gained a queen. So that's 9 and 4 or 13 pawn units gained. And now the king captures the rook. So he loses 5, but is still 8 pawn units up. So even in terms of material, this seems to be a good thing to do. And then here he plays just a waiting move, like maybe king to d3. Now if the knight on the f-file moves, let's say to d6, the queen captures the h8 knight with mate immediately. But if that knight captures the knight on e5, the other knight recaptures, and now let's say knight to g6, queen to f7 check. If king to h8, knight captures knight with mate on the 5th move, and if king to h6, queen captures knight with mate also on the 5th move. So is that the solution? Is that the best way to proceed? Let's see what the engines have to say. As expected, that is not the best way to proceed. This is chess, ladies and gentlemen. Things are not always what they seem. Instead of pawn captures rook with promotion to queen, what we should do is knight captures rook, no promotion. Now if knight captures knight, pawn captures knight with either promotion to queen or even rook, and that's a mate. If knight to g5, same thing. So what if knight to g6? Here, white plays knight to g4. And it turns out nothing can stop the next move. For example, if knight to f4, knight to f6 mates, knight to g5, and knight to h6 mates. The pawn defends the knight, and the knight defends the rook, and the rook defends the pawn, so that the other knight can deliver mate either on f6 or h6, depending on how black proceeds from this point onward. I hope you like this one. I know I did.